Okay, we are recording now, so I'm going to repeat that. So for the month of January, we enrolled 98 new associates and 16 preferred customers. In February, we enrolled 90 so far new associates and 17 preferred customers. So
wow.
we need to share our 14-day story with those people that are enrolling preferred customers so that they are aware that people are going to ask them what they're doing. You're not going to keep it a secret. So be sure and share that. So we will post something in Pro about a challenge, and we'll have a giveaway. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, at this point, so that because Lindsey likes to talk, we are going to turn it over to Lindsey Broschinsky. Lindsey has been doing a lot of work with Rod Hairston and Healthy Mind and Body. So Lindsey, you're
Trisha.
What?
I'm gonna go first.
Oh, you're gonna go first. Okay. All right. You weren't on my agenda, so take it away.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm loving these babies. Thank you, mamas, for getting on, even with your little babies. I know that's a sacrifice, but we're building for them, right? Right, Alyssa? Right, Jennifer? I should say right to everybody because we're all building for our babies. Awesome. Guys, first of all, I just wanted to thank you for the first 30 days of our action plan. It has been going so great. We're seeing a lot more growth, and we're seeing a lot of new faces pop up, which has been fun. Has everybody been loving the accountability groups and your accountability partners? I know we have a bunch of different ones going on, some that we've put together and some that you guys have put together. So it's been going good. Right? Amy, want to share something from those accountability groups they've learned or they're taking away from it? Eric or Shai?
Yep. I'll go.
Yeah.
So in the accountability group that we're in, right? So, and I'm sure it's like a lot of others, right? It started off on fire with people inputting every day, good and bad.
I was already getting Maddie.
Here's Stace mute. So, hi. So, here's what I would encourage everyone, because this is the posts that have stuck in my mind are the ones where people have gotten really real and raw and put it out there what stopped them from doing something and then how they came it, right? And so if you're in an accountability group, if you're in one of these groups, my suggestion, I would encourage you, I would implore you, I would beg you, is the thumbs up, the way to goes, the attaboys, all of those are great in those. But what's really going to propel people to the top and get us to where we want to be is when we get real and raw. And because they're safe groups, right? That's why we created these. They're safe groups with people that have the same goals with you. And so it's okay to struggle because everyone struggles. And when you admit that you're struggling, like other people will see that, and then it brings everyone up, right? And it will bring you up. So that's what I've gotten out of it. I think the posts that have been in there are the ones that you just get real down to it and share your experiences. So if you're doing that, do it more. If you're not doing it, start doing it. So yes. That's my takeaway.
Awesome. Does anybody else want to share anything before we move on? I love that.
Trish, I'll share.
Yep.
Same thing along those lines, Eric. I mean, we're in a group with people that I don't know personally, haven't met one-on-one yet. Hopefully someday to be able to. But I love that they're raw and real, and they, excuse me, can express their stories and their fears and then tell about how they overcame them. And it helps to see other people doing that, as well as when we do it ourselves. Because when we do that ourselves, we're actually literally overcoming our own fears and jumping through baskets and hoops. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Without even knowing it. And we need to be able to do that. And if we can do that in small groups, then we can start doing that out with other people. And so don't be afraid. Just start doing that. Start talking, start communicating. Like Eric said, the attaboys and the great. I love stickers. I'm great at doing the Raha stickers in the groups and on the feeds and stuff. But as well as sharing your personal experiences and asking those questions. We're in those groups to help each other. And even though we're not financially linked and all those things, we are there really literally to support each other. So don't miss out on that opportunity just because you're afraid. Well, step up.
I'd like to add to that, by being raw and real in your accountability group, it teaches you to be able to talk to people from your heart. So when you become comfortable with being vulnerable, people trust you more because they completely understand where you're coming from. So that's the importance of being raw and real in those accountability groups.
Agreed. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you, Eric and Shai, for those examples. And thank you, Barb. I mean, that's the whole point, guys, is we're stepping up as leaders and developing ourselves. So, you know, David Wood always says, you know, how you show up in everything, in anything is how you show up in everything. And I really, truly believe that's true. How we do anything is how we do everything, right? And so, and Lindsay's going to go over that a little bit later with our Healthy Mind and Body. She's just doing amazing things in that program, and she's in it every day, just continuing to learn and grow with Rod and Molly. So I'll leave that to Lindsay, but that part is just so important, all right, that we're just showing up and we're doing our very, very best in every area of our life. But tonight, I want to talk about two things that I really think this is good stuff, like really, really important and vital to our success and our growth. So, hey guys that are joining us, welcome. Good to see your faces. I know I see Tammy and Rochelle, Meredith, Jenny, you guys have all jumped on, so welcome. Anyway, two things that I want to really just touch on. The first is called overtraining. And when most people hear the word overtrain, they immediately put walls up because there's an echo. There's an echo. Are you guys all hearing an echo with me? Nope. Okay. Shai, you're the only one.
Do you have two devices going? Your phone and the, okay.
Yeah, no. Okay. So most people, when they hear the word overtrain, they immediately freak out because they feel like they're going to get micromanaged, they're working too hard, and a lot of things pop up. So I'm going to break this down, and Max Van Adt will be doing a training on this soon, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I am going to just kind of briefly talk about it and the importance of it. So in the workout world, overtraining can actually be a really good thing. For example, if you have a woman who, let's say she's just big bone, we like to call them, right? Like the bigger hips, lots of big muscle, and they have a hard time losing that, all right? It's actually the key to getting rid of that is overtraining those muscles so that they don't have time to recover, and so they actually start slimming down. So in certain areas, right, of your body. So overtraining can be a good thing. And in our business, this is going to be a good thing. There are parts of our business that we can't micromanage. We can't overtrain. We can't drag people. We talk about that all the time. We can't drag people and force them to do things. We can't build businesses for people. We can't take responsibility for people's actions, right? But what are some key things in our business that if we choose to focus on and really overtrain will actually help them get the results they're looking for? All right. So I want to hear some feedback from you guys, but the areas that we need to overtrain. If you've ever listened to a Jimmy Smith training, you will know that he always touches on a few of the same things. Every training he talks about the same things. He talks about, one, the responsibility of a sponsor and how important that relationship is. That when you enroll somebody, it's like you've just added another kid to your family. Like you're the parent of someone new that you have to love and you get to nurture and you get to know them and understand, hear their story and know what their dreams are and find out what holds them back. Like this is a relationship. Now that relationship is going to be different with every single person you sponsor because it is a two-way road, right? They've got to meet you. They've got to want that relationship. And some people just don't. They're not ready for it. But for the ones that are, this is such a beautiful experience of looking at people and learning and knowing them, right? So some of my best friends in the world are on this page right now. I'm looking at your faces. People that I care about so much because I enrolled you or you enrolled me, and we've created this amazing relationship that we didn't have before, right? Okay, so that relationship is important. And as a sponsor, you have to understand responsibility. We are responsible for showing them the road to success. Okay, so what does that look like? We've talked about launching an associate. I'm not going to go into that right now, but those are key things that we have promised to do. We're going to add them to our pages and try to get them to, integrate and become part of our culture. We share the tools with them, right? The Evernotes that we have. If you haven't been using the Evernote, you should be using that. We get them enrolled in IsoBody Challenge. We get them enrolled in the Healthy Mind and Body program. These are key things that we do to set people up for success, right, with the product. Because the first 30 to 60 days, that should be our biggest focus, is creating an amazing product experience and developing a relationship with that person, okay? But what do we overtrain on? Well, what are we trying to duplicate, guys? What is our compensation plan? Can anybody tell me? What is our compensation plan? Tammy? You have to unmute yourself because I want to hear it from your voice. What is the compensation plan, Tammy?
You plus, or me plus two, or them plus, me plus two, and them plus two.
Perfect. So you share, they share, correct?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Right?
You
You share, they share. What's our new motto? Can anybody tell me our new motto?
Is it the one with the repeat on it? Oh.
The eat
it.
Oh, love it. Love it. Share it.
Share it.
Okay, so everybody say it with me. Eat it.
Eat it. Love it. Share.
Share.
Okay, and then the second part, the compensation plan is you share.
You share. They share. Repeat.
Repeat.
Okay, so thank you, Tammy. So this is one area that we have to overtrain. Like we can't afford not to overtrain on this. And that means we're going to put so much energy helping them to do just this basic part. We're going to put a lot of energy in making sure they're eating the products and they're eating them correctly, right? They know how much shake to put into their blender, that they know how much ionics to take, that they know that ionics and cleanse are two different products and you don't do an ionics day, right? Eating it is so important and you have to overtrain in that area. So you have to be like a mama bear or a papa bear and make sure they're doing it right. And like really, really, really educating them in this one area. Okay, good? All right, that is a big reason why we have the Tuesday night launch parties. Because every time an associate gets on a Tuesday night launch party, they're learning about the products. And they're learning from different people how to explain the products. What are the keys to each product? I mean, you want a cheat sheet of fast facts, get on every Tuesday and you're going to hear the fast facts, right? So we're learning to eat it and eat it correctly. And by doing that, what's going to happen? When they enroll somebody, what are they going to do? They're going to be an amazing product coach. They're going to show their people how to eat it and how to eat it correctly and how to get on the Tuesday calls to learn all about the products. They're going to show up when it matters, which is with the products and with the system. Okay? So that is one area that if we're not doing that right, our business will just kind of implode. Like you might have a good personally enrolled, but in the second generation, the third generation, we're slowly going to get worse and worse and worse. And that's where retention gets screwed up on a team because we're not passing forward that important torch. We're not teaching our people how to eat the products and love the products. Okay? All right? So raise your hand if you're committed to being an amazing product coach and loving the eating process. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to write that down. Make sure you're taking notes. Number one, overtraining is eating the products and loving the products. Okay? All right? So eat it, love it. Obviously, I just kind of talked about that. That is another part we're going to overtrain. But this is an area where you can overtrain on isogenics a little bit too. Okay? Because until they hit their first event, you are the culture. You are isogenics. Right? When I talk to people that have bad product experiences and they're like, oh, I tried isogenics. I tried it for 3 days and it sucked, so I returned my products, right? I know you've all heard those stories from somebody, right? I've heard them. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like so sad. So sad that one, they didn't have an amazing experience of eating the products, right? They didn't have a great coach. And I'm just referring to most people. There's obviously the some that just return their products because they're crazy, right? But majority of the return their products, they just didn't have somebody really coaching them on eating the products and loving the products. And so when you say, you know, you tried isogenics and they said, yeah, it didn't work, they're picturing in their head their sponsor. Like they're relating isogenics to that one person that introduced them and enrolled them, right? They're not picturing in their head celebration and the thousands of people with results and the hundreds of people that walk the stage, and they're not seeing any of that. They don't see the culture in isogenics. All they see is the one person they worked with in isogenics, right? So our second job in overtraining our people is introducing them to the culture and letting them see what is isogenics. What is the vision of isogenics? Are we just a shake company? Are we just a weight loss company, right? People on our team still think that. They still think that because they haven't been introduced to our group, our team, our family, or to our company, right? Does this make sense, guys? Are we understanding where we're going here? Okay, awesome. So that second part is so important. When we look back at just the beginning of our growth, we didn't know we were doing that. But we were, because Alyssa was showing up to my house and Lindsey was showing up to my house, and then Shy started coming, and I mean, it was like a party every week. We were just getting together and having these launch parties and laughing and visiting. We didn't know we were doing it, but we had created a culture, and luckily that culture is isogenics. We were doing exactly what our company does, right? And so it was amazing, and that's why we had such great retention. So if there is not retention in your group right now, or with the people that you've enrolled, it's simply because those two things. They haven't learned to eat the products and love the products, and they haven't really seen the culture of isogenics and understood what this really is. We all know that it's more than a brown box, but do your people know that? Do others know that, right? Okay. And then finally, number 3, our final one, that is, I can't say it's the most important, but it's kind of important, is we have to share this philosophy of you share, they share, repeat. You share, they share, repeat. It has to be our mantra. As a team, everybody on our team eats for free. We've been saying that for 3 years, right? For 3 years, we've been talking about this. But does everybody in our team know this? Are you overtraining this one fact? How many times are you talking about the compensation plan with your new associates? And are you walking them through the process? Are you actually helping them to do this? So when we say you share, are you helping them to share? Are you? Or are you just expecting them to just go out and do it? Right? Are you helping them to do a Facebook post? Or to put together their first message they're going to send to their friends? Or what they're going to say to people? Like, are you taking them by the hand? Because this is important. This is an area that you can take them by the hand, and you're expected to. You have to lift them up to your level. So are we showing them how to share with 2 people? If you will overtrain and just, make this the best experience ever, make this first 2 shares incredible, then what are they going to do? They'll do the same, guys.
Right, do the same. I just said the same thing.
Yeah. They're going to be amazing coaches. Even if they only ever share with 2 people, they're going to teach those 2 people how to do that too, because you overtrained it. Like you showed them exactly how to do it. They weren't questioning how, they weren't scared. They weren't just like being sent out into the wilderness by themselves. Like you showed them exactly how to do it. Right? Now with the next 2 people they enroll, you won't have to do that as much. You won't have to overtrain them in those next 2 people because you've already done it once. And now they can do it. However, the next part of our compensation plan is what? They share, right? So what if, in a perfect world, and we're talking about overtraining here in this one area, what if you take them by the hand and you show them exactly how to share with 2 people, but then you also help them coach their first 2 people how to do the same. You know, if you overtrain in that last area, if you show them exactly how to show their first 2 people how to do the same, now you're creating a system of duplication of overtraining in an area that's really important. That's really, really, really important. Because how many of you have consultants, but they never become managers? Yeah. And it's simply because they don't know how to do what you just did. They don't know how to train 2 people how to do the same thing. Yes, you did it for them, but you haven't showed them how to be a leader, right? You haven't showed them how to be a great sponsor in that regard of how they can teach people how to do the same thing. And so you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to overtrain. You're going to say, Susie, awesome. So now that you have your 2 people, what do you think you can do to help them share with 2 people? How are you going to answer their questions? How are you going to know what their goals are? You know, do you want to help them do a Facebook post? Do you want to help them have conversations? Can I help? Can I do a 3-way call and help you do this? Right? Guys, I'm talking about some energy here. I'm talking about some time here. But if you do this, we're going to start duplicating a lot deeper into our team. And that is where success happens in Isogenics, is when we're duplicable is the word, right? We're duplicable. People, I mean, it amazes me because sometimes we're naturals and we just start sharing. I mean, Rochelle, I want you to share in a few minutes, you know, what this week has been like for you, because I am so proud of you with what you're accomplishing right now. And not only you, but you know, your daughter Danielle is enrolling and her people are enrolling. So we're doing something right here. Okay. So super, super exciting. But this is, guys, I feel like I'm going to beat a dead horse over the next few months on this, but these are the areas that we must overtrain. Everything else can become a little bit of fluff, and sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not, right? Sometimes we need to really, really dive into mindset and really work them there. Other times, you know, we can ease up a little bit on that. But these are areas that we can't afford to screw up, right? We can't afford to mess around with. They have to become products of the product, and we want them to get paid, okay? And so just finishing up our point 2. Anybody have questions on that? I'm seeing no's. Awesome. Okay, good. Good. This last Saturday, I want to finish up and then turn the timer to Lindsay, but this last Saturday, we had our Super Saturday that Wendy put together, and Susan Sly and Luna were trainers at that event. And it was honestly one of my best events ever, which is crazy because I was so uncomfortable the whole time with this baby. I think I was getting my cardio going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. But it was an amazing event. And simply because we worked on this a lot. So we talk about overtraining. We worked on this part a lot. Product to the product. You share, they share. But Luna was absolutely phenomenal. And she's going to be on our training call in just a few weeks. So you guys will all get to be trained by her, and you're going to love her to death. She's a very, very successful leader in Isogenics, especially in the Asian market, which is a very hard market to jump into. You got to know how to talk to them, right? And so Luna, the few things that I just want to touch on that she did such a good job on was this first philosophy of you share, they share. And she actually took ownership of it. So it was I share, they share, right? I share, they share. Let me repeat that. And so the challenge that I want to leave with you guys tonight, in honor of Luna's training, was that she asked us, you know, if David Wood is right and how we do anything is how we do everything, then what if we took the compensation plan and made it an integral part of who we are in everything we do? In everything we do. So what if we're going to go to the movie theater and see a movie, so we invite 2 friends and we say, hey, you should bring some friends along. Bring your friends with you, right? And so you just did you share, they share at the movie theater, right? Or if you're going to go on a walk at the park, why not invite 2 friends to go on that walk with you and ask them to invite 2 friends? And you don't have to say 2, but why not invite them to invite people? Because that's what we want to do, right? We're trying to create a culture, a true culture of humanity, where we're connecting, guys. That's what I am passionate about. That's what drives me every day, is connecting soul to soul, heart to heart with other people. And nothing makes me happier than seeing people come together and become friends that didn't know each other a moment before, half an hour before, right? Like nothing gets me more excited. So what if we just start doing that? I know Alyssa just put together, she's been doing a hiking group, right? And she's inviting friends on her hiking group. Now, the next step would be to say, okay, I'm so excited you guys are coming, but please, everybody invite some friends. Let's get some more people here. Let's make this hiking group amazing, right? So let's just do that over and over and over again, guys. If this can be common in your life, then it's going to be really, really easy for you to teach you share, they share with Isogenics. Because this is a part of who you are. You're a human connector. You were born to do this. You were born to bring people together. All right? Barb's doing some crazy stuff. Is she telling me to wind this up, or is she dancing? She's telling me to wind it up. See? Come on now. All right, guys. That is all I have for you guys tonight. And I'm really excited for Max and Luna to be joining us soon to really dive deeper into that. But I hope you got something from it. And I am so excited for Lindsey. Most of you guys know Lindsey Broschinsky. She's one of the first people that we had the honor of enrolling. And I'm so grateful every day that God brought her into my life and brought her back into my life years later. And like I said, she's been actually becoming a coach through Healthy Mind and Body, and she has gone deeper into that program than anybody else on our team. And so I'm just excited for her to share some stuff tonight, not just the amazing things that we need to hear internally and take in and apply, but also some tangible tools that we can start doing right away to take action. All right? Okay. All right, Lindsey.
Well, thank you. That was very nice. Thank you for the introduction. I feel so blessed to be a part of this team, and so blessed to have Trisha really start this ball in motion. And I'm just excited to be here tonight. I know that time is valuable and that you all have places that you could be. So thank you so much for trusting us and for hopping on and for just being present. You know, I think that's really the key right now. We're on week 5, I believe, of the 90-day action plan. And, you know, you guys, this is the time when you might start to feel a little bit of resistance, and you might be feeling like, I don't know if I can keep going. And it's really so important that we keep getting together. And I love that you do this, and we do this with our team members as well. And I just love that we get together and really discuss what's going on in the week and keeping that energy up. And it's just such a great thing. So I just kind of want to first say, you know, I truly believe the things that I have learned doing this Healthy Mind and Body coaching program can be of value to you. I've had a ton of aha moments the last few weeks especially, and I was sharing them with Trisha, and we got really excited about sharing them with you. And I know that together with all of our gifts and talents and things that we all bring to the table, we can make this team the best it's ever been. And we can really break that stage at Celebration, which is the ultimate goal, Operation Break the Stage. So we need to just be focused on working as one team. And, you know, I know that I'm going to provide those tangible strategies and things that I really believe you can walk away from and start to use today. But first, I really just kind of want to dive into the Healthy Mind and Body program. You know, I find it so interesting that I was speaking to some really seasoned builders about a week ago that have been in Isogenics for years, and they didn't know what the Healthy Mind and Body program is. And I'm like, what? You know, and Rod Hairston is such an amazing man. I mean, he's worked with Honeywell and ExxonMobil, and he's worked with Disney. He's worked to create multiple billionaires, that he's created these programs and these systems to really train their minds and to, you know, create their focus into the right headspace. And he has joined and partnered with Isogenics and created this same type of program that is 60 days, that for 60 days we can really work on our mindset and our focus for $39. And the crazy part is, at the end of the 90 days or the end of the 6 weeks, we get $45 back in a product voucher. So we're just really insane not to take advantage of this. And I will tell you, I'm one that has sort of hopped on and hopped off, and I've been all in with the Healthy Mind and Body, and I've sort of kind of done the Healthy Mind and Body. You know, something has hit me crystal clear recently. I am better when I'm working on my mindset, and everything in my day goes easier when I am training my mind to be my co-pilot. Because if we're going to really reach the goals and the aspirations that we have for ourselves, our mind is the one thing that can consistently trip us up. And so instead of being angry at our minds and frustrated with, you know, what our subconscious can try to do, let's just learn to be grateful for it. It's really trying to protect us. And let's learn how to take that mindset and show it, hey, we're going to be okay. We're going to do the daily consistent actions every single day to move us to the next level. We're going together. I'm not going to leave you behind, mind. We're going to do this together. We're going to grow, and it's going to be a great thing. And, you know, I want to talk specifically about breakthroughs, because I think in this company specifically, and anything that's super exciting, we can often hear the word breakthrough, and we think that that's a word that means we're there. That's the end goal. And it's quite the opposite. A breakthrough is just really an aha moment. And if you're looking at the cycle of growth, it's standing in inception with binoculars, seeing where you can go. Maybe you've cleared out some stuff. Maybe you've realized, you know what? I can do this. I was born for this. You know, that compensation plan, it makes sense. And I can figure that out. And I'm smarter than I thought I was. Or, you know what? I do love to serve others. And I fit in with this team. And this feels like home. Those can all be breakthroughs. But then what are we doing after we have the breakthrough? For me, oftentimes, I thought, that's it. I figured it out. I had my breakthrough within the first 3 minutes, and I'm good to go now. And then I would often find myself living on that supercharged energy for a little while, and then having a sudden fizzle, or feeling like I was frustrated all of a sudden and things just weren't going my way, and I couldn't figure it out. So I want to tell you that when we're thinking about moving through a breakthrough, we have to do the daily consistent action steps in order to push through after we have that breakthrough. Because after a breakthrough, if that's the beginning point, resistance is the next thing to come. As we start, you know, digging in and doing the work, oftentimes the very next thing that's going to happen is we're going to start to doubt. We're going to have a bad day. If you're like me, I think I held the record yesterday. I had somebody return after their first shake. It's never happened to me before. It was nuts. And, you know, that can be something where if you're not in the right headspace, that can really throw you off your game big time. And you know what? For about 6 hours it did. And then I could just wake up this morning, because I have the Healthy Mind and Body program. I opened up that computer, refocused on my goals, pulled up my bootstraps, and I kept on going, because we don't have time to drag, and we don't have time to let our mindset hold us back any longer. And so I just want you to think about a breakthrough as your starting point. And it's exciting. And it's amazing to have a breakthrough because that awareness is the key. But in order to really move to the leader you want to be and the coach that you want to be and the teammate that you want to be, it comes down to doing the daily consistent actions to get you there. Are you making those calls? Are you talking to people when you feel like you might be in a funk? Are you going out and connecting when you don't want to? Because our minds are a muscle. And if you're not working that muscle and showing your mind, hey, we've got this, you know, we do things when it's hard. We do things when we have resistance. Then, you know, ultimately, probably you're going to go back to where it feels super comfortable. So when you have those breakthroughs, follow up with the action. If I can tell you anything else tonight, that was one of the most aha things. And I'm going to share a personal story quickly. So maybe you can sort of find yourself in this story. I recently, about 3 weeks ago, had a major breakthrough. I realized I was looking at my fitness app and I realized this is so weird. I'm stopping, if I'm running for 3 miles, I'm stopping at 2.97. And if I'm going to do the bleachers for 10 minutes, I'm stopping at 9 minutes and 52 seconds. And I realized going back through the history of about 6 months, this is crazy, that I was stopping right before I should have been done. And I started to think about my business. And I've been just a little bit stuck for a while. And, you know, we bumped up on the next rank by a couple of cycles 2 times. And I thought, that's so weird. These are the same patterns of almost achieving the goal and taking my foot off the gas. What is going on? After some deep thinking and talking to Rod and Molly and really getting to the bottom of it, I realized deep inside, I still have a limiting belief that if I do too much, my autoimmune disease might take back over. And if I do too much in the business, it could all be taken away because, you know, what if I push my body so hard? It's just a crazy limiting belief. And it's funny because I had this breakthrough moment, and this is not a new aha moment. I had this back in April. And I have been struggling subconsciously since about May, to the point where I actually went and got a little bit of counseling for it. I couldn't figure out what was holding me back. Well, what have I done recently in the last 3 weeks? Finished every single workout that I started. If I say I'm making 5 calls, I make 5. If I'm making 10 connections, I'm making 10 connections. If, you know, I'm doing the things, if I'm getting out for that run, I am running the entire thing that I said I was going to run. And every single day I'm training the muscle of my mind. And it feels awesome. So I want you to know I'm about to have the most awesome year of my life, not because of a breakthrough I had back in April, but because of the action I'm doing now that I realize that I had that breakthrough. And it feels really, really good. And it's interesting how much I'm catching myself, stopping myself. And what I do is I really get in state. I slap my arm, I kick my leg, and I say, you're doing it again. And snap out of it. And then I do it scared, and I do it anyway. The action is the key. So I hope that can help somebody out there tonight. The second thing I kind of want to talk to you about is a little bit of a strategy. And this is called the communication hierarchy. And I loved this when I learned about it. And I'm going to just look at my notes for a second. But when you're asking people to grow and expand into something that they're not at the moment, which isn't that pretty much everybody that we're enrolling into Isogenics, typically people are coming to us because they have a need. They have a need. And, you know, they want to feel better. They want to have more energy. They want to have their happy back. They want to have an ability to earn more finances for their family and have hope again, right? And so we're asking them to move from somewhere that they're not into somewhere that we believe they can go. And we're asking them to move into uncertainty. But oftentimes, as leaders, we are coming straight at somebody who's scared to death, deer in the headlights, even if they don't show it. And we're automatically just throwing the strategy at them. And I don't know if any of you have done this, but you get on the phone with somebody, and instead of really speaking to them and providing certainty and significance, we're saying, okay, so this is what it is. We have 2 shakes a day, and you're going to get to have 2 snacks, but don't worry. It's not like just those little Scooby snacks that you've seen on the pages. We're going to have healthy snacks too. And, we're going to do some cleansing and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And the person's like, what? And we freak them away and we don't know what we did. And so, I want to talk to you about a method that has been working really, really well. And to give you an example, I'm going to give you a story that happened just about a month ago. We had a launch party at our house. We had everybody gathered around. We decided it would be the best idea to show the Today is the Day video because we loved it. At NYKO, oh my word, that room was booming. I had the chills everywhere, the fire in my belly, the pounding in my heart. It was so awesome. So we thought everyone in the room that's new is going to feel that same way. And we turned on the video, and I could feel the energy just kind of off. I could feel we were losing people. We stood up right after the video, and we went right into the products, into the strategy. And it was just an off launch. And when everybody left that night, Brent said, well, how do you think we did? I said, something was so off. And it wasn't until I got on the call with Rod and Molly the next day that I realized what we had done. What we had done was throw them into inception and then throw them into strategy. We provided 0 certainty. We provided 0 significance. We provided 0 team. We provided the strategy. So that's what we did. And if you think about it, why Isogenics, the movie that we typically show, it provides it in the right order every time. And that video works well at launch parties because it talks about the company. It talks about how, these products are in need. It talks about how you can, fit into this culture and how there is a place for you. It talks about the community and, they're walking on the beach together, and it talks about the events and what it means to be on this team. And then it talks about the products and the results. So I want you to write this down. The communication hierarchy goes like this. 1, provide certainty. 2, provide significance. And we're going to go into each one just a little bit. 3, provide team. 4, provide strategy. And 5, talk about the results. So uncertainty can be the greatest prison guard or the greatest massive support for you based on the decisions you will help them, you will make. We have to support these people with certainty in our body language, the way we're holding our posture, the way we talk about the products, the way we talk about the company, really the way we believe in the products and in the company. And, there are opportunity to experience all of this opportunity at the highest level. It's going to be great. And then before you jump into strategy, we really need to satisfy ego. And I think sometimes we think of ego as a bad thing. We think that if somebody needs their ego satisfied, then, they must just be cocky or, have this need. Well, we all have that need. We all have the need to see where we fit. Because even if we see that the company's great and the products are amazing, how easy is it to say that's good for them, not for me, if you don't know where you fit? So something you could say to somebody was, Sue, I see how you serve everyone around you already. I just love the way you care for others. And I know that you would be an incredible asset to this team. We could really, benefit from learning from you. Or Jane, I absolutely am so impressed with how you hit the gym consistently and how you have always believed in nutrition is the greatest thing for our body. And you have a place on this team because you believe already so much in this. You could really help other people to see the same things that you've always seen. You know, really just showing them, where do they fit in? Why are they of value? Why are they going to come to this team? And then we back it up with, we are the best team ever. We have so much fun together. You know, this is my family, and we are a team where we really support each other. There's no BS here, you know, and we lift each other, and we believe that in order to achieve our goals, it's easier as a team. And that is really how we feel about this team. And then when they're ready, and this is the key, we can give away our strategy. And I thought this was interesting, but we really need to protect that strategy and make sure that the people we're speaking to are emotionally ready to hear it, that their certainty is provided, that their significance is there. Because the strategy doesn't need to be the first thing that they know. And I know Trisha can speak to this, and I can speak to this. Personally, when I got on the phone with Trisha, and why I think I enrolled in 2 minutes, she told me, Lindsey, I feel better than I ever have. I don't know what's going on. I feel incredible. And I know that these products can help you too. And I see the way that you haven't been yourself. And I know that you can come in and use these products and you can feel better again. I would love to see you join this team with that energy that you used to have and share it with everybody. We have the best team. We've been meeting at my house, and I want you to come. And please post in the pages. Let everybody know the way that you're feeling, because this team, they're going to love on you, and they're going to give you that support that you've really been missing. And, you know, I enrolled. She did not tell me the strategy or the results until she brought that box to my house. And that's not going to work with everybody. You know, you might have that in the same conversation, just using that order. But your conversations are going to go a whole lot smoother if you practice using this communication hierarchy. It's not some crazy model. It's just a model that people can understand. And when we're trying to communicate with other people, oftentimes we're taking it personally. We're beating our head against a wall. We think we're doing something wrong, and we're not. They just can't hear us. And they just can't see themselves doing what we've done. And if we provide that strategy first, they're just feeling really uncertain, and they're not feeling like maybe this is going to work because maybe you just came at them too hard with the strategy, and they just want to know, hey, these products work. This company is amazing. I believe, you know, in Kathy Coover's vision to create more six-figure earners than any other company on the planet, because I'm watching it being done every single day. And I believe that the mind is just as important as the body. The transformations happen internally and externally, and that we have the secret sauce when it comes to our program that Rod Harrison has provided for us. And I see you on this team. I see the way that you will just come right in and make our team better, right? And then we talk to them, this is shakes, and you're going to be doing this, and, you know, I believe you can have these results and that you can feel better than you ever have. Just really try this order. I want you to try it. It has been knocking down walls for me for a few weeks now, and I'm just kind of walking away like when I was getting really frustrated before, because I was going to strategy first a lot of the time. And I'm going to share one more story quickly, because I think we learned in the story. We had a really professional athlete at our house the night we had the launch, and we kept telling him, oh my gosh, like these shakes are just better. Well, tell me what are in your shakes. Oh no, our shakes are better, you know, and our, this Ionics, it's going to help you lift. It's going to help you so much. Oh, you take energy drinks? No, you don't want to take all that garbage and those colors and those fillers. You want this E-shot. The E-shot's clean. And he literally was, And as we were standing there in the kitchen, after I was already feeling funky, like the launch went a little bit weird, I remembered the hierarchy. And I turned to him and I said, hey, you know, you are awesome. And you've been in the fitness industry for a really long time. And I believe you could teach us all something. And you just speak a different language than us. You know, there's so much that you know that we just don't. And I would love to connect you on the phone with somebody that speaks your same language that could help you to see how these products could benefit your life. And he just softened, shoulders went up. He was like all into it, and he's enrolled. So it just came down to providing that certainty and significance before we just kind of threw the products and the strategy and what he was going to get out of it and all of our knowledge at him. He didn't want that first. So just slow down in your communication with others. Use this hierarchy and rock and roll. I can't wait to hear how it's working for all of you. So I think that's all I've got. Thank you for listening to me ramble. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them.
That was great, Lindsey. And the thing is we got a condensation of a talk that took you a couple weeks to bring together. So if we can work on that and build it, your stories provided a lot of significance, and I think that's what really illustrated it. So thank you. Go ahead.
I want to tell you, this is all in the Healthy Mind and Body program. So get in that. I would encourage everybody to get in the Healthy Mind and Body program, you guys. This information is all there. So, and really your teammates. It's going to keep you from having to do all of the heavy lifting, and it's going to help them to stay focused and to learn this stuff for themselves. That's how we duplicate. So,
okay, has everyone here done Healthy Mind and Body? Is there anyone who hasn't? We can't see Casey or Stacy or Meredith or Jennifer, but if you haven't done Healthy Mind and Body and you're building a team, how are you going to have them do Healthy Mind and Body? It's so important, and I get something out of it every time I do it. And one of the times that I did it, I geared it all towards the business, and I rank advanced immediately after I completed Healthy Mind and Body. So I need to jump on that again. So thank you so much, Lindsey, for going over that with us. And I put up there real quickly the voice. Voice is your value, your openness, your intention on what goal you're trying to create for them. So that's building their vision, and the clarity of what you're explaining to them, and the expression and posture. So that's why I broke it down to voice in the chat. So it's kind of the same thing, but it's an easy way for you to remember when you're out of sync, like Lindsey said she was at that one launch, is to bring yourself back in sync, to have a way to remember it. And that's where voice comes in. So I did want to acknowledge some people today. And unfortunately, they're not on this call. And all of you who are here, you really need to ask your team members, where were you? Because most of you that are here are building and know exactly what we've been discussing. So a lot of what we've been discussing is really geared towards your new teammates. So get them on these calls. They didn't have to start with us 4 weeks ago. This is open to anyone who wants to participate and who is ready to jump in, because you learn so much. Particularly if you've only shared with 2 people and you're just like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I just told them I like it and I feel really good. Well, they can learn a lot just by sitting here and listening. So we said we were going to give away a ticket to Celebration each month of the 90-day game plan for our top sponsors. So our top sponsors for the first 4 weeks of the 90-day game plan, Danielle Pace enrolled 8 people in the past 4 weeks. So so she's winning a ticket to Celebration. The next person was Cassidy Bushman. I think that's on your team, Lindsay. Is Cassidy?
No,
Oh, Alyssa's team. Alyssa, sorry, Alyssa. She had 4 people last month. And make sure you tell her and find out why she wasn't here. Okay, and then Ryan Porter, I think he's under Mandy Briscoe. Is it Mindy or Mandy? Mandy. He had 3 enrollments. So there were a lot of people that had 2. And almost everyone had 1. So you can see with 98 and 90 enrollments, we had a lot of new associates added to the team. So between Danielle and Rochelle this week, just this week, they've gone nuts. So I'm going to let Rochelle speak to that a little bit, and why you've made it feel so comfortable for so many people to jump right on. I loved what you said in the chat, that the salesman came to the door and you ended up giving them information on product. So I'll let you talk a little bit about that, Rochelle, for a minute.
Okay, yeah. The reason, why am I like,
You got to turn your phone off, or
Yeah, you have
one
2
or the other.
on.
well, okay.
You gotta turn one of them off.
Okay, one of them I could hear everyone, one of them I couldn't, so.
Okay.
No, but the reason I was late jumping on the call is my son and I drove up a little bit before the call, and there was a sales girl out front of our house. Actually, she's, I think, it was a troubled youth single mom, and she's in this group that's going around selling magazines, and they go to different states, but they're in my neighborhood. And I'm like, oh, I don't have time to talk to this salesperson right now, but it's like she's right in front of our front door. So I told my son, I'm like, well, she's selling something and I'm selling something, so let's see who wins. So I just remembered David Norrie saying that. I think it was him in our last Fast Track, that in a conversation, someone's always selling something. So I got out of the car, listened to her little spiel. I was going to help her because it's a good cause. But I said, she asked me, because she's a single mom, and I told her I have been there before. She asked me what had helped me, and I told her a little bit, and I said, but you know, I'm in this company now that I really wish I would have had when I was a single mom with 2 little kids like yourself. Let me tell you about it. So I kind of told her about it, what it's done for me and for my family, and she just texted me. But I told her all about it. I gave her a couple bars, a couple shakes. I gave her a shaker cup and got her contact info so I could put her in the Facebook pages, and she's very interested. And anyway, so that took a while. That's why I was late to the call. But I'm really hopeful that she's going to Texas next week. And she had said that she'd been in Utah and she had a Book of Mormon. And so I told her, have you read it? And she said, no. And I said, you need to read it. And I said, that's another thing that helped me. And so she said, okay. And I said, do you want to go to church with us Sunday? She says, I'm going to be in Texas. And I said, well, I have a girl that just went there on her mission, and she's going to be right by you. I'm going to connect you. She said, okay, I'll go.
So there you go, guys. How you do anything is how you do everything, right?
Where in Texas is she going to be?
She's going to be in Dallas, but near Fort Worth, because that's where the little sister missionary is that I know.
Okay.
She said it's 2 minutes from Fort Worth is what she told me.
So before we close up, though, Rochelle.
She's not right.
All right, ladies. So before we close up, Rochelle, could you just touch on, though, what has happened this week? Because you've had several enrollments and you have a few more still going through.
I think I had what Lindsay called a breakthrough, but I'm trying to just move through it, like she said. But all of a sudden, I got this thing in my mind where I'm not afraid to share it with anyone and everyone. And some of these, the one lady I only met 3 weeks ago at my daughter's gymnastics meet, and we both were new to gymnastics. We were talking to each other, and I kind of developed a little relationship. And this last week, we went to Gracie's meet. I said, okay, we're going to be intentional about this. And I brought extra snacks, extra bars, enough for me and Dan to eat because we were going to be there a while. And so I ate a bar in front of her while I was talking to her, the same lady. And then Dan at the awards said, did you have any snacks? And he got his little whey thins out. And she says, are you an Isogenics? And I said, yeah, I am. And she said, are you? And she says, no, but I wanted to know about it. And so I just shared with her what it's done for me, like Lindsay said before. I talked about I said, do you want to know more about it, how it works? And so she said, yeah, I've been looking. So anyways, we talked about it. She was going to do a run later that afternoon. So I sent her home with a knee shot and a hydrate. And I checked up with her the next day and she loved it. And then we had lunch this week. But then Katie, the other one, I had put her in the pages 4 months ago. And that's, thanks to everyone in the pages, because I think she was mainly just watching the Come Vibe one, which has been awesome. And she just called me out of the blue and wanted to know more about Isagenix. And they have student loans. So they don't have a lot of money. She was kind of a little bit worried about doing it, but she's uncomfortable enough in her own skin that she's really ready to start. So we talked a lot about feeling comfortable in your skin more than the products. And and then Danielle's just not afraid to talk to people, and she's been talking to everyone, and she doesn't know a lot about the strategies. Like, she wants to learn more. So I think she's doing a little bit, probably more in ignorance a little bit, but a good thing, like ignorance on fire, like Lindsay. She's just sharing how she feels about it, and I think that's how she's getting a lot of success. So I think what Lindsay said is exactly right. Don't be afraid to talk to people. Share with them stories. Be a story collector. Share other people's stories if you can't relate to them. And just don't be afraid, because we can't judge of what state they're in. And before, I think I was judging a lot, like, oh, they wouldn't be interested. Oh, I don't know. They're going to think I'm weird if I'm trying to share. And you just get rid of those thoughts and just run with it.
So, Rochelle, you're absolutely amazing. And last thought of the night is you hit on 3 big things. One, you went to Fast Track. You've been showing up to trainings. You've been going to Super Saturdays. You've been showing up for a few months now. I know that you haven't been in the company for very long, but for a few months now, Rochelle has been training, guys. She's been going through stuff. 2, she had a breakthrough. Just like Lindsay talked about, she had a breakthrough. She realized she wasn't afraid to talk to people. She realized the gift that she had. She also realized that she needed to step up financially, and she wanted to reach some big goals in her family. And 3, she's putting all of that into action. And every story you guys just heard, she did exactly what Lindsay was talking about. She went totally into, what was the first one? Certainty and significance. And strategy came last. So, Rochelle, that's why you're having success this week. Is because you've learned it, you had a breakthrough, and then once the breakthrough came, you went into action. And you're doing it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So thank you, guys. I'll let Barb close up, but I'm just so excited, so proud of you guys.
Okay, well, hold on just a second. Keep talking.
I love when she does this. Let's all look at the baby for a second. Lindsay, did you want to add anything to that? Because that was just awesome. I mean, you guys have heard it before, but Lindsay and I were the same exact way. We both got our brown boxes without even knowing we were getting. Because most people buy things just looking at pictures, hearing like amazing things. They don't buy because they understand the product. Right?
Okay. One more thing I want to add is you were talking about overtraining. So I ran to pick up dinner because Jeff's been out of town and I've been running around today. So while I was waiting for my pickup, there was a couple that sat down to eat. They'd never been in there before, and they weren't from Bernie. So I got to chatting with them, and they were winter visitors from Iowa. So she said, well, what do you do? Well, let me tell you. So I proceeded to say, well, I'm retired, but I've partnered with this amazing company, Isagenix. She says, oh, I know all about Isagenix. She says, I did it 2 years ago, but I didn't know what I was doing, and the person that got me involved didn't tell me anything. So I didn't know what I was doing. So I threw all the products away and quit. So there's your overtraining. And I gave her my card, and I said, let's talk. Okay, so there you go. You've got to just share with the people around you. And it was instant. I said, let's have coffee next week. So she was all on it. She's a winter visitor and loves making friends, and we're not far from each other, so it's kind of nice. But I want to end with Kathy Coover's mantra, because this is where we're heading, and make sure everything that you're doing now, we're adding to it, because that's what Kathy asked us to do. So I am a powerful force. You guys share it with me. Everybody unmute.
We don't have the words to it, Ben.
I know, I'm telling you, okay? I am a powerful force.
I am a
powerful force.
I will succeed and go to the top.
I will succeed.
I have the courage to step up.
I have the courage to step up.
I will help my team succeed.
I will help my team succeed.
Nothing will stop me.
Nothing will
I
stop
am an
me.
achiever.
I am an achiever.
I am a true leader.
I'm a true leader.
I will step up. I will step up.
I will step up. I will step up.
All right, let's nail it this week. Thank you, everybody.
Night, y'all.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing, everyone for sharing.
Night.
Okay.
Please share your takeaways. Share your takeaways. Pass it on, guys.
Yeah, Julie, hang on there when you and I can talk. Okay.
I'm just gonna save the chat real fast before you stop.
Thank you. We
I'm
love
gonna
you